Hello guys, a company called GearBest contacted me to see would I review some of their products. So I took a look through their website and I gave them a list of things that I thought might be of use to us, and what's in this package here will hopefully be a couple of things that we'll be able to use to make some RC tractors, or that will help us in some way. So when I took a look at the GearBest website, I found that there was a huge selection of radio controlled vehicles. So they have RC cars and RC boats and lots of different vehicles, and they have a huge amount of drones. So if you're into your unmanned aerial vehicles or your drones, anything like that, so I quite like that. Usually when you go to these sites, you can buy the product, but you can't buy the parts for the product. Like, say if you wanted to make your own drone, you could just buy the control board for the drone, buy your own propellers, your own motors, and build whatever shape of a device you want. And they had all the boards for the drones that had the GPS and the Arduino based controller board for your drones. Since I started this channel, I've been saying that I would try and squeeze the electronics from an RC car into an RC tractor, and I haven't had the opportunity so far. But when this company contacted me, that's the first thing I thought I could do. And I seen these RC cars, maybe this was the opportunity to try and do that. Now I don't know if that's going to work out, but if it doesn't, at least you'll know that it's a bit too difficult to try and squeeze RC car components into the tractor. So this RC car is called a KD-Summit, and it's a 124 scale model. Obviously I chose a 124 model because it was about as close as I could get to 132 scale, and hopefully we'll be able to fit the pieces into one of the larger models. So I chose this model for two reasons really. The controller has proportional control, so we should have good control over our speed and good control over our steering, because a lot of the cheaper RC cars you get, you push the controller throttle and the car just takes off at full speed, and you can't adjust the speed in between, and the steering just pulls over to one side or the other, and you can't adjust in between. Should be able to do this with this model. The second and more important reason is that this is a 4x4 RC car, so all four wheels are powered, and the reason I want that is I think I'll be able to squeeze this into a 4x4 class tractor, because if you've seen the class models, they have four equally sized wheels, and this model has four equally sized wheels. So we couldn't squeeze this four-wheel drive system into, say, the Massey for instance, because the front wheels of the Massey are smaller than the rear wheels, so the rear wheels would effectively be turning faster than the front wheels. So you need to pick a model where all the wheels are the same diameter, and I think I might be able to squeeze these electronics into one of those bigger class tractors. I'm not sure which one yet. I haven't actually ordered it or had a proper look at them, but hopefully I'll be doing that in the future. Packaging wise, it comes in this box, which is pretty solid. The only thing is, if you look at the model and I turn it upside down, the model actually comes away from its base. I think it's missing a cable tie in there because it has a cable tie at the back, but other than that, the packaging is pretty good. It's protected the model pretty well for me. It doesn't look to have damaged too much. On the top here, this is our little vehicle. We have a single cable tie holding it in here. It's quite a light little machine. So we'll take that apart now in a minute and see what is quite good suspension. Let's see our controller. That's fairly decent looking controller. The controller doesn't feel too bad, it's quite light, but if you see here, looks like you put your batteries in there, so once it has all the batteries in, there'll be a bit of weight to it. The controls feel alright, and the buttons feel to be of a high enough quality. I mean, some of the real cheap controllers you get with RC cars, the buttons just feel like rubbish. There's no good feel. You can feel the contact being made on that button really. TH trim and ST trim. Could that be throttle trim and steering trim? If that's the case, that's quite a nice feature, especially for a cheap model to have, you know, trim adjustment, so you can set your throttle positions and your steering, center your steering. That's pretty good. A lot of the cheaper RC cars usually have a screw in the bottom to center the steering, but this clearly doesn't. There's a wire sticking out there. I wonder, is that the 2.4 gigahertz antenna? I'd say it probably is a monopole antenna. So the last thing in here is this little box. Find out what's in here. This is the batteries for the model. They give us a couple of, I presume they're just normal batteries. I wouldn't say they're rechargeable. Just look like normal AA batteries. That'll be for the controller. And for the car, we have a USB charger here and a lithium ion battery. We have a single cell 3.7 volt lithium ion battery. It's a 900 milliamp hour battery and a little USB charger. One thing I thought GearBest had a brilliant selection of was these USB chargers and the lithium ion batteries. So because they have so many drones, they also need to have the accessories for the drones, and they had chargers, USB chargers, that could charge 5 lithium ion batteries at once. And I think they came with the 5 batteries, and that only cost maybe $10 or $15, something like that. It was pretty cheap. Being able to charge 5 lithium ion batteries at once would be pretty handy for the RC tractors. You could charge a set of 5, and while you're using those 5, you could be charging another 5. So I thought that kind of thing was pretty good. These USB chargers are pretty common now, so should be fairly straightforward. I use something similar to this to charge the batteries for my models. I just got it with an RC helicopter a couple of years ago. That's all I've been using. So let's have a look inside the car. These RC cars, you're able to take the bodies off. This is a bit more common nowadays. When I was a kid, they were all just solid plastic, and you didn't have proportional control unless you bought the hugely expensive models. Used to get like Subaru Impresas and stuff like that, which came with these body kits. Now this is pretty standard. You just have a little plastic outer shell. So we take a look at the suspension here. We have a little spring there just to absorb a little bit of the shock. It's kind of a mix between a double wishbone and a McPherson suspension or steering setup. You kind of have a wishbone at the bottom there, and just a kind of a connecting strut here at the top, or a connecting rod. But, that's alright. We have a little track rod here, but it's not adjustable. So we have set steering. Everything has little ball joints in it, so that's pretty good. There's a little bit of play in the steering, but for an RC car, I mean, it's not going to really matter that much. See, we have a little bit of wheel wobble there, but you know, they have this model marked as a regular price of $118, and at the minute it's $28. So for $28, you're getting a lot of adjustability in your model. I mean, you definitely wouldn't buy a model with proportional speed control and independent suspension for $28 in this country. I know that for sure. But it all looks pretty good. So obviously you can see the drive motor is here, and that is going directly into a gearbox at the back here. So that's the little gearbox there. And if you notice, in here behind the suspension is the little drive shaft going to each of the wheels. I would imagine there is a differential in that gearbox, so we can check that out in a little while when we power it up. And also, running to the front here, there's a little shaft in there. You can see that little silver shaft. I'm pretty sure that's going to be the drive shaft coming from the rear gearbox at the back here up to probably another differential in the front of the model here, and then again the little drive shaft going to the wheels. So we have full four-wheel drive, and when I transfer this to the Claas model, hopefully we'll be able to just squeeze those two gearboxes in. We might be able to use this motor, or it might end up being too fast, so we'll come up with a different solution for that if we have to. If we do need to change the motor, it looks like they have have it set up here so that you can change the motor pretty quickly if you want. Maybe that's what the picture on the side of the box was. Maybe it was a faster motor that you could upgrade into this. These pieces on the side here, I presume that's the space for the battery. So we'll see if we can get the battery in here. This might be designed for a different battery because I think it can take, or I think they have it designed to take AA's as well. So let's see, that appears to be on there. Yep, that's that in place. So we'll just plug that in, and our on-off switch is on the bottom here. When I went to put the batteries into the controller here, I noticed that there was 2 spring terminals at the top of the controller here, which would make me think that the negative ends, you're supposed to put 2 batteries in like that, which would obviously be pretty weird. So I checked that to see how the batteries are supposed to go in, and obviously enough, they're not supposed to go 2 negatives in, they're supposed to go like that. And if you check the base of the controller here, you can see there's a positive and negative marked, and this little piece obviously looks like it fits the positive side, and the other piece like a little spring terminal again. So just make sure you don't put the batteries in the wrong way around. Okay, I've added the batteries in now, so let's hit the on switch, see what happens. It's quite a loud beep. Looks like, I guess the red light means we have battery power. Not sure what the green light LED means. But anyway, let's hit the power on the car, and we don't have any drive. Okay, so it looks like you have to turn the car on first. Turn the car on first, and then turn on the controller to get your connection. Let's check out our proportional control. I'm probably a bit too close to this. That's pretty good proportional control, I'd say. It's not too bad. That seems like pretty good steering. So that little buzzing was the steering servo, and we can adjust that with our steering trim here. You'll hear a little beep as I adjust that. Now you can hear the buzz is on again because the servo is under load. So you can adjust your steering like that. Okay, so now we have it driving. I can show you the differential in effect. So obviously all 4 wheels drive, and if I stop one wheel, the other 3 drive. Stop 2 wheels, the other 2 drive. So we seem to have pretty good differential effect. There's quite a bit of grip in the rubber of the tyre too. That's pretty good. I was having a little difficulty getting the car to go into reverse, so I decided to take the battery out and just check the voltage, and we're at 3.7 volt, which is not surprising. I mean, you wouldn't be expecting the battery to be charged when it's just out of the box. So I'm going to have to charge this. The battery should be around about 4.2 volts fully charged. And disconnected from the load. So we're going to use our little charger here. I'm just going to use the little power block from my tablet. Pretty much all mobile phones and tablets and things come with these now, I think. So that's all you need to charge your battery. When you plug it in, you should see a little red LED, and when the LED goes out, that should be the battery charged. That's the way pretty much all of these cheap USB chargers for these single cell lithium batteries work. So when the LED goes out, that's it fully charged. I was talking about putting the running gear from this model into something like a Claas Xerion, but let's just have a quick look at this rear end of this fend. If we line it up, you can see the differential is actually just about the same width as the distance between the 2 wheels on the fend. So this section here is the differential, and you can see the output is just in there. See, the shaft is coming out at an angle, but the output is the larger round piece, and that is pretty much in line with the fent wheels. So I'm pretty sure if you took this differential and probably the whole motor and gearbox out, you might actually be able to fit it into a tractor like this. Now you'd only have rear wheel drive, and it would probably take up so much space that you wouldn't be able to add lifting arms, but you would have a tractor with a differential in the rear, so you'd have brilliant steering. So if you just added a tow hitch and you could pull trailers, and you'd have absolutely fantastic steering. So that's just an idea, and probably the front is the same, so you can kind of see the front differential there. Yeah, the front differential is probably around about the same size. Now, I will be doing a teardown video for this RC car where I take the whole model apart to get the correct sizes of these differentials. That way I'll be able to, you know, place the actual differential on its own up against this here, and we'll know whether it would fit in a model like this, or hopefully by that time I'll have the class model that I want to modify, and we'll see if these differential parts are going to fit in. But first impressions look like the differential from a 124 scale RC car might actually be a good match for a 132 scale RC tractor. Okay, so I've fully charged the battery here, and I'm just going to power it up again. Turn that on, turn on your controller, and now we have our full control. When I got this one, I was having a little bit of trouble getting the model to go into reverse. So when I played around with the trim for a while, I got it worked out. It must have been the trigger here. It moves a lot further forward than it does in reverse, you see. So there's only that small movement, whereas the forward throttle has a lot more. So I guess it took a little bit more adjustment to get the reverse right on my model. It might not be the case on yours. Just had the car out for a spin there, and I took it in. I was about to change the battery there, and I noticed that there's quite a bit of heat coming off the motor here. So after you've had your RC car out, make sure to be careful not to burn your fingers on the motor, and also before you charge the battery, let it cool down first. So all in all, this seems a pretty good little model for 25 euros. I mean, I've had a little go of it. I've been shooting around the room here a bit, and it seems to have loads of power. It's extremely fast. I think on the box it says 25 mile an hour is the top speed of it. But I'm going to do another video of this machine driving around outside. We're going to try and get some shots of doing jumps and stuff like that. Hopefully we'll be able to mount a little micro camera on the spoiler here, and you'll get some shots of the model moving around, which will hopefully look pretty cool if we're doing 25 mile an hour. There's a friend of mine going to come over and give me a hand with this, because obviously I can't record the model moving and drive at the one time. So he's going to drive the model, I'll try and record it. We might go to Forest Park and see if we can drive it around the gravel track there. We'll try and do a few jumps here at the house, and hopefully we'll give this a real good test, a real rugged test. So make sure and click the link at the end of the video. That should be uploaded at the same time as the video you've just watched. And if you like the car, make sure and head over to GearBest. I don't know how long the promotion, the discount is going to last for, but at the minute you can pick up this model for just $28, so about 25 euros, something like that. It's pretty cheap. The video of me disassembling this will be in a few weeks, because I have to get the model of the class tractor that I actually want to put the running gear of this into. So when I have that, I'll dismantle this and I'll show you the different components, the differentials and the transfer box and all that stuff up against the class tractor, and with any luck all of that will fit together pretty perfectly. Now I don't know for sure if that's going to work, but I'll give it a go. So I think that's all I have to say about this RC car. If you have any products that you want me to test out, or you think might be of interest to the viewers of the channel, you can contact me through my email, rctractorguy@gmail.com, and I'll let you know if I think it's relevant to the blog or we can do something with it. And that's pretty much everything for this video, so thanks very much for watching.